Alright, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to talk about the conduit gear, the discordant gear, whatever you want to call it. Break it down as far as the leaks and talk about the sending perks and the receiving perks, and about how to become a sender and or receiver, because you can do both at the same time. So I'm going to talk about that in the video. Alright, so first off, let's talk about the sending perks. If you want to be a sender, you have to have a piece that has the perk that says Sonic Conduit on it. So anytime that you are in the proximity of Sonic status effect, the Sonic Conduit buff is sent to all heroes. Now this does not include yourself. This only includes the other heroes. They will benefit from the conduits and they will become a receiver. But since you're sending it out, that classifies you as a sender. So in order to be a sender, you have to have this perk called a Sonic Conduit. So let's take this for example. Right now I have the Sonic on, and let's see if we can apply some status effects quick enough and hopefully they don't die. And right now that I got inside of the Sonic radius, I became a receiver, right? Or a sender, excuse me. Became a sender as soon as I step inside of the Sonic. And I'll do it again. So now I'm a sender. So now if I take this piece off right here, the Sonic Conduit piece off, and let's add some intensity as well, because I'd rather get this by a little quicker than not. So if I take this piece off and I no longer have that Sonic Conduit perk on, let's see what happens. I have to wait for this one to go down. I'm no longer a sender. I'm no longer classified as a sender, even though I'm still within the radius of the Sonic area. That's because I don't have this perk on. So to become a sender, you have to have a piece of gear with this perk. Now, what are the benefits of being a sender? It all depends on what gear pieces that you have equipped on. So, for example, this one right here is whenever I become a sender. So whenever I have this out, I have this one perk, the last perk, not ignore the first two. Whenever I have this last perk on and I'm stepping inside of the Sonic radius, this perk right here will activate, which is the granting ground. And this is just one of several perks that you can get from being a sender. So while I am within a Sonic radius, or as long as I have this sender effect right here, I have a less chance of being staggered. So you can see right there, typically that attack would go straight through me, but I'm able to get the attack off because I have this granting ground, where as long as this Sonic Conduit buff is showing is active, or I can't get it to come active, but as long as it's showing active, hopefully they don't die. Okay, here we go. Now during this 12 seconds, I can do pretty much any kind of attack, right, and not get hit. You literally phase through it. But that's just one perk. Now you also have receiving conduits. So in order to receive some type of conduit, you either have to have somebody sending it to you, or you can receive it from yourself. The way that you receive the conduit from yourself is by having this perk right here, the lethal conduit. So in order for you to receive the conduit buffs or benefit, you have to either have somebody else in your teammate sending you the conduits, and they have to be a sender for those 12 seconds, or you have to have this lethal conduit. And by having this lethal conduit, if you read the perk, it says if you defeat an enemy with vibranium status effects, the Sonic Conduit will be sent to all heroes. All heroes includes yourself. So if I defeat an enemy who is afflicted with vibranium, I become a receiver. So let's go ahead and do that. And you see I just defeated him, and now I'm a receiver for the 7 or 8 seconds or however long it lasts. So that's how you receive the Sonic Conduit if you want to become a receiver for yourself. So you also can send out and become a receiver, but you have to have this lethal conduit piece, and you have to have the piece that I showed before. And there may be another perk as well that allows you to become a receiver, but at the end of the day, make sure that it says all heroes are considered Sonic Conduit receivers. no matter the perk, because like I said, we all don't have every single perk, I'm assuming. Alright, now let's talk about the leaks. The status leaks are the little fancy things that you see whenever things go off and things go crazy. So there are different types of leaks, and in order to get a leak to activate, you have to apply 2 different status effects. So far, the ones that I've mainly seen have been either vibranium mixed with sonic or vibranium mixed with cryo or something similar to that nature, but you have to mix 2 different status effects. Now, to cause a leak, you do not need to be a sender and you do not need to be a receiver. All you have to do is have this perk on that says some type of status leak, whether it's shock status leak or whether it's one right here where it has the cryo double leak. Or you can have one like this one right here, which has the vibranium double leak. So you do not need to be a sender or a receiver in order for you to apply a leak status. All you have to do is follow the directions, and with this one right here, if I attack an enemy with vibranium that already has sonic, then shock will spread to all nearby enemies. So let's go ahead and equip some pieces to make this happen. And that's the leak right there. Now make sure that you read the directions carefully on it, because they have to be fully filled with sonic first, and then you have to attack them with vibranium. So if you do it in the opposite way, like this one right here, which hopefully I can do this, hopefully it doesn't. See, they're affected with vibranium. If I attack them with sonic, the leak won't happen. So it has to be sonic first and then vibranium, or depending on whatever type of leak you have, make sure you follow it in that order. Now what you did just see was 2 different leaks at one time. I had this leak applying because I was doing the shock, I was doing the vibranium and the shock, or the sonic, and I was doing another double vibranium leak. So if I take this piece off, you will see that there is only 1 leak happening instead of 2 of them. If you notice, there was no shock on the last one, but this one, it will be the shock on it and the vibranium leak. So that's how you can do a double leak. All right, actually you can do a triple leak, but you have to have vibranium on a parry attack, but that's a whole nother story. Now for everybody who likes to play as Kate Bishop like me, there's a way you can actually you can proc 2 different leaks from 1 attack, and the way you do that is by doing this right here. First, get you a piece that has a damage buff and a power attack with sonic damage. The next thing you need is one of the discordant arrows that you get from the raid that has a vibranium payload on it, and it has to have the leak on it. So whenever you do a power attack, it will do sonic damage and it will do vibranium damage as well sometimes, which will cause this leak to happen and will cause this leak to happen as well. And you can do that from 1 power attack. So you have to have this power attack piece with sonic on it, and you have to have the payload, because whenever you do the power attack with the sonic, then it's going to have proc the payloads. Not all the time, but sometimes. It all depends on your proficiency. And yeah, that's pretty much the gear broken down. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any type of questions, feel free to leave a comment. And thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.